Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I just had to make this video. I feel like I was probably the last person in America to finally get their Fimi X8 SE 2020 version. It's here. And as you can see, like everybody else, the package is worse for wear. Lots of rips and tears in it. If there was ever one of those converters in here, I'm sure long ago fell out of the tears in the bag here. So it seems like it's weird that they all kind of come like that. I have to say the package itself, though, the box inside, from what I can see so far, looks pretty decent. Now, I ordered this drone on April 4th, 2020. Now it is July 29th, 2020. So just about a week away from 4 solid months since the day I ordered this drone. So, hey, that said, I'm just happy to have it. Got a great price on it, so I guess you can't complain about that. But I just thought we'd quickly open it up and take a quick look at it and see what kind of shape it's in and see what's inside the box here. Got my scissors, so let's slice this baby open. It's already torn up pretty good, so it doesn't take much. And you know, that'll tell you, I wonder how many of them got lost in the mail simply because you know, they fell outside of this plastic wrap that they put them in. So yeah, there it is. It's looking, box itself looks pretty good, especially compared to what some other people got. And yes, indeed, just as I thought, there is no converter inside that bag. Now, if they had ever put one in there, and I don't know that they did, it's long gone. So it's interesting here, and I'm kind of taking a picture of this with the GoPro as well so you can see it. There's a little diagram on the back, on the seal, that tells you what is forward, backwards, up, down, right, and left, which I'm not sure what that's about, but they're asking you to look at the quick start guide, which I would recommend. So let's break the seal. We'll open this baby up. Maybe. Got to be smarter than the box, huh? I guess I should talk a little bit about what it says on the box here. So it is talking about the Fimi X8 SE. It's got 2020 on there, so I'll be able to tell this box from my 2018 version. It says 4K HDR video, 3-axis mechanical gimbal, folding portable design, smart track and smart flight, 8-kilometer range, 35-minute flight time, precision vision positioning system. On the back here is just simply a color picture of what we just saw, and it's got the model number, serial number, all that stuff, net weight, product size, etc. Manufacturer, Beijing Fimi Technology Company Ltd, a Mi ecosystem company. So how that connects up with Xiaomi, I'm not sure, but anyway, it does, I know that. Okay, let's open this puppy up. Okay, so what are we looking at here? I've seen this before. You've got a kind of a cushion at the top here. It's got a QR code for downloading the app. Tells you you've got the AC cable, the charger, instructions, 3 props, so 3 of each kind of props, so you have 1 spare is what that means, I'm quite sure. The drone, a battery, and the controller. Now, if we look here, we got this little gizmo. I don't know where that was in the grand scheme of things. It was laying right there, so I don't know if that's just to cushion the top of the controller there or what, but again, here is the documentation, safety instructions, so small that you'll probably never be able to read it. So there's again is the QR for the app and the quick start manual. So again, for an old guy like me, that's kind of small, but yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll look that over. Very familiar stuff here. The controller, very familiar. So if you'll notice there, there's the sticks for the controller right there, or the gimbals. I mean, it looks exactly like the 2018 controller. I love this controller. This controller, you put your smartphone in there and it fits in and it works really well. I really like that design. 5-way switch, take off, land, on and off, return to home switch here, and then normal GPS mode in that other position. So yeah, there's the remote controller. Oh, it does, I should mention, you've got record and take a picture. Maybe I've got that backwards. And then this one controls the gimbal, and this one right here controls EV, exposure value. So then you've got the power cord that everybody complains that it is it's got the European or Chinese style end on it. I have a converter upstairs already, so I'm good to go. Got the props here, so yeah, looks like you got an extra set of props. Yeah, this is just 2, so I'm assuming the other ones are under the drone. And then the charger, and that, of course, that's where you connect the battery up, and the charge block itself. And you get the usual 3 OTG cables. You get the Apple cable that I'll use, a micro USB, and a USB-C, and of course they all have USB-A on the other end. So let's get the drone out of here. So there we go. Same kind of gimbal protector, just that little foam piece right there. You know, I bought one of those aftermarket little foam pieces, and I'm sure that I'll use that, but I found this foam one seems to work pretty good, so well that this one is so tight I can barely get it off of there. So yeah, I mean, that's saying something. So there's the gimbal on this guy. Different camera than on the 2018 version, and it does shoot in HDR, so that's interesting. So optical flow sensor and sonic sensor right there. And yeah, it folds out in the same way as the other one. I like it, very straightforward. Let's take a look at the battery here, see how much charge we have. Yeah, battery's 3/4 charge, so that's good. You know, I can tell you outwardly here, the drone really looks pretty much identical to the 2018 version. My 2018 version did develop a stress crack right here on this arm. Of course, this guy doesn't have that. Hopefully, I'll have to compare the material, but it feels the same, but I don't know for sure. So anyway, there it is. Oh yeah, here's the regular props. So okay, so now that I've got it out of the box, I am going to get the props on it, get those gimbals on the controller, and charge up the batteries. And I probably won't get to fly it today, but hopefully tomorrow we'll take this guy out for its first flight, and we'll just see how it does. Like I said, it's all very familiar to me because it's very much like the 2018 version, but I'm looking forward to comparing the performance between the two and see what differences there happens to be. But you know, I enjoyed the 2018 version. As long as this thing has a nice stable horizon, flat horizon, I'll be a happy man, because I know the rest of it performs like it should, or at least the 2018 version did. Okay, so now let's just get this baby out for its first flight. Hey, okay, so you saw me open up the Fimi X8 SE 2020 yesterday when it arrived at home. So it's time, as promised, for that first flight. So of course, where am I going to do a first flight at? The Snake River Canyon. It is a brutally hot day today. So right now it's 88 degrees according to the Before You Fly app. We're on our way to a high of 104 today. Now it says like 14 mile an hour sustained winds with 28 mile an hour gusts. I'm just telling you, it's not nearly that windy right now. There's a little bit of a breeze, but not nearly that. So I don't know why Before You Fly was so far off on that one. Let's get this guy out. Before I left the house, I checked it out, did calibrations, etc. Checked out the firmware package. Interestingly enough, it did not update firmware, so it liked whatever package was on there. So I'll put that on the screen right now. Anyway, I will do get it fired up. I'll do a compass calibration because probably the last time it was calibrated was in China, and we'll get it in the air. And we're not going to do anything too crazy today. We're just going to go out over the canyon, look around a little bit. You know, no range test, nothing like that. We just want to see how it flies, take it out there. And for everybody that remembers my first flight with the 2018 version, yes, these props, they all have the screws or studs, whatever you want to call them, in the props there, so they should be good, and we should get a good flight today. Let's take it up. Maybe we'll take a few pictures. We'll definitely get some video. If we have time and battery, we might try some of the automated stuff with it, but most of all, I just want to see how it flies. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay guys, I had a little bit of trouble there. The drone was not recognizing the SD card. I used a Samsung U3 SD card. I actually took the card, put it in my GoPro, formatted it in my GoPro, put it back in the drone, and it still didn't recognize it, but I saw the format was lit up, so I hit that and it formatted. So I think we're good to go. Unfortunately, I left my phone sitting in the sun while I was doing that, so my screen is dimmed significantly, so it's going to be difficult for me to see FPV, but we're recording, starting recording now, and we're in 4K 30 frames per second, and I see no reason why we can't take off. I did do a compass calibration as well, so heck, let's go ahead and take off. So I'm going to hit takeoff on the app here, and let me get out of the way so you can see this guy go. Yeah, so you saw that it detected vibration, so the blades were folded up. So let's try it again. So we're good to go now. So a little bit of wind came up just now. I'm going to let it sit there for a second and get a look at its home point. Like I said, it's bobbing around just a little bit, but a pretty good breeze came up. So let's see if we can bring it down where you can see it on the front of the Canon camera here. And let me see if I can bring it in here for a look. We'll cautiously bring it in here. So you can see it moving around. And yeah, some of that breeze came up that they were talking about on UAV forecasts. So in any case, I don't see why we shouldn't just head out over the canyon now. Yeah, so let's do our manual droney. So reverse and up. And boy, I wish I could see my FPV screen here. I'm struggling a little bit. Like I said, while I was messing around with that SD card, I should have turn the remote over so that my camera wasn't in the direct sunlight, because it definitely heated it up. So it's dimmed significantly. Let's yaw all the way around. We'll go up and down the river here for a while. We're already down to 89% battery because I used this battery for calibrations. Well, I can see well enough that I need to drop that gimbal and get the rule of thirds. And we've got a pretty good horizon that I can see here. Oh, we stopped recording. Okay. Started recording. I don't know if I accidentally shut that off or what, but started recording again. And that's me yawing it out over the canyon. It's flying great. We're going at about 10 meters per second. Thought I heard a boat down there, but I can't tell for certain. My screen is so dim. Yeah, it just dimmed some more. Yeah, it's my screen is really heating up on the iPhone because it's so hot today, and we're taxing the thing. I mean, I'm literally flying blind here. You know, they make those cool pads that you can put on the back of your iPhone, and boy, I sure wish I had one now. Yeah, max distance, which is 1,000 meters. I thought in fact, I know I had reset that in the parameters. So let me see if I can go in here. Yeah, look at that. I had reset that, so I don't know if those all reset when it fires up, but yeah, okay. So I fixed it now. Yeah, I know, because I had the return to home set at 60 meters, and now it's down to 30. That's close enough, 64. I like setting a really high return to home. Okay, so, oh, and let's see, let's look at that limit of flight speed. Yeah, that's why it was only going 10 meters per second too, so we're going to turn that all the way up. Yeah, I don't know, that's weird, that's odd, I don't know what was going on there. Okay, let's head on down the river some more. Yeah, and it's not doing it. It won't let me go beyond that 1,000 meters, so I don't know what's going on there. Let's yaw around and let's head back this way. And guys, I can barely see my screen here. Okay, full stick forward. So we got some movement now. I wonder why it reset that max distance. That's really odd. Hopefully that's not something that you have to reset every time you fly the drone. Yeah, and we're stuck at that 10 meters per second, so maybe you cannot change those parameters on the fly. Interesting stuff. Beautiful day out today. A little bit windy, but not too bad. But it's supposed to get up to 104 degrees, so that's why I wanted to get out a little bit earlier. It's right around noon. Change our direction here a little bit. Guys, I am find right now with this FPV. I can see the drone. Okay, let's hit return to home just for the fun of it, and let's land it, and I'm going to cycle it back on and off and see if I can reset those parameters. So I flipped it into return to home on the app, or on the controller. And it's coming. It's not beeping here, but it's on its way back to us. So we're so used to DJI drones, all the beeping that we get on DJI. Here it comes. Boy, it's a good looking drone. Not real noisy either. And it's starting its descent. Landing pad not detected, it says. It's moving. It's moving towards it. It's got wind blowing it around, but it's right over the pad. Landing pad detected. I think we're going to hit it. Like I said, it's got wind messing with it here. Yeah, it hit it. Look at that. I'm going to call that a wind. So it's just a little bit off the pad there, but not much. So I'm going to shut it down for a second, and I'm going to shut down the controller, and I'm going to see if I can cool off my phone for a second so that I can see what the heck I'm doing. So then we'll fire it back up and we'll go back out. Okay, I've cooled off my phone a little bit. It's still not back to full bright, but it's a lot better than it was. I'm trying to keep it in the shade here, so that's why I got my back to the Canon camera. Looks like we've got enough satellites. I'm going to go back in and check. Yeah, for some reason, so we set that to no limit. We want to set the flight speed up to maximum, and return to home height I want at 30 or at 60 meters. Yeah, so for some reason it's not saving it, because look, that limit of flight went back to, oh, you have to check the check mark. That's what I didn't do. Okay, whoops. So you need to check the check mark next to it. So that's what I didn't do before. So that was pilot error. So we should be all set to go now. Let's see, last time I used the app for auto takeoff. Let's start recording. And I'm going to hit the takeoff button on the controller. And it typically goes up about 13.5 feet. Put the camera up so you can see it there. Okay, so we are going to turn around and we're going to go the other way. Yeah, I can see the darn screen now, which really helps. So what we're going to do here that is the trail that I came in on, and we're just going to go full reverse over the top of the camera here, so full reverse. Spots. Let me drop the gimbal down here, and you can see there's a lot of spots they set up on the river. The Idaho Power actually manages part of this, and I know BLM does the other part, the Bureau of Land Management, and they got a lot of spots set up for fishing, so there's a lot of people that fish here. There again, we're going about 12 meters per second. We're down to about 50% battery. I'm actually pointed away from the drone with the controller because I'm trying to get it in the shade. And there you can see the dam off in the distance there. Let's take a couple pictures. Raise some more altitude. Okay, we are going to stop recording now. I can tell my screen is heating up. We're going to go into photo mode, and there's one photo taken. Let's turn back the other direction. This is then roughly, the direction I'm pointing here is roughly northwest. So there's another picture. We'll see how those look. Okay, let's throw it back into video mode. Video started. Let's put it into sport mode here. And let's live dangerous. Let's see, flight mode again improves greatly. Please fly with caution. Okay, so we are in sport mode. Okay, let's go full stick forward and let's see how fast this baby goes. Oh, it's in ATTI mode for some reason. That's not good. Yeah, now we got GPS again. That was weird. Yeah, we're losing satellites for some reason. Got down to about 9 satellites. So yeah, we're up to about 18 meters, 19 meters per second. We're hauling the mail now. Yeah, I'm going to raise some altitude here. I don't like that we've lost satellites. Yeah, now we're back to 10. 40% battery. We won't mess around here too long. We're burning up a lot of battery here in sport mode. Well, I can hear the drone out there. Like I said, it's not an unpleasant sound on this drone. And again, my phone is kind of heating up, and I keep losing the screen. It just gets dimmer and dimmer. So I am not going to mess around here. We're not trying to set any records. We get down to about 35% and we'll bring it home. There's 35%. So I'm going to hit return to home, this time on the app. And boy, it immediately took that command and is heading this way. And you'll see it go over the top of the ridge here. And we'll see if we get another precision landing. So we didn't get a whole lot done, I can tell you. So the wind has died down again. There's literally no wind right now, and it is getting hotter by the minute. Like I said, we're supposed to get up to about 104 degrees, which coincidentally, that's about 40 degrees centigrade, and that is the maximum that you're supposed to operate this drone at, max temp. We're not there yet, but we will be in a couple more hours. So that's why I wanted to get this flight in. I can tell you this, when I picked up the drone from that first flight, hell, it didn't even feel hot. So, you know, I've heard people talk about cooling issues with this one, that they don't hear a fan coming on, etc. I can tell you my 2018 version, if I'd have flown it on a day like today, it would have been blistering hot. This one, I just picked it up, and I mean, it was warm, as you would expect, but it certainly wasn't particularly hot. So there I can see we had a cloud come over, which helps me a little bit, and you can see that complex down there that I'm at. Let me drop the gimbal down as we get closer here. And I'm standing right there by that park bench, and you can see the little rock fence that they built so people don't go flying over the edge, off the edge of the canyon. Okay, I got the camera straight down so we can watch it do its precision landing. Yeah, and it's giving me a low battery warning now, so we came home just in time. Landing pad not detected. Boy, so far so good. I got no complaints here. I have to tell you, I couldn't see the horizon real well because of my dim screen on my phone, but what I saw, it looked pretty good. So we'll see when we pull out the SD card and take a look. It's looking, yeah, it says detected. It's a little bit off. Let's see if it gets to it. Landing pad detected. Boy, it looks like it might have it here. Boy, they've really improved that. I can tell you the 2018 version would have struggled with that. We're going to hit it here. Now, the camera there was well off the ground, so it didn't even come close to touching anything. But I got to tell you, I am used to most other drones, DJI drones, and I'm sure the Hubsan does it as well. At the very end there, it will pick that camera back up. The Fimi does not do that, and I'd forgotten about that. Also, what I like is, and I'm remembering this from the 2018 version now, it shuts off recording. That way you never get a corrupted video file, so that's awesome. Okay, let me get it all shut down and we will do a quick conclusion. Okay guys, the Fimi X8 SE 2020 version. And as you can see, I've got one of those aftermarket Sunny Life gimbal covers on it. That's a pretty handy deal other than that foam thing. Although I'll be honest with you, that little foam square, I found that it actually holds the gimbal pretty darn good. And I noticed the one on this is even a little tighter than the one on the 2018 version. But these covers are cheap, and it's, you know, I think it's a good thing to have. Just makes it simple and protects your gimbal, because that is a very sensitive part of the drone. So as far as heat, like, man, I mean, like I said, it's warm, but by no means is it hot. And I just checked my phone. It's about 92 degrees Fahrenheit here. I think that's what, about 37 or 38 centigrade, something like that. So it's definitely hot out here, and the drone, it's fine. And in fact, it's so hot that, like I said, I was having problems with my iPhone overheating. So we saw that. Then the issues that I had resetting parameters, I evidently I don't know if the 2018 version is the same, but I forgot about those check marks that you have to check on the side to save the parameter when you change it. So we saw that, we fixed that, we moved it up to unlimited. We'll have to see how some of the video turned out. I'm going to admit to you, I was flying blind for much of it because of my screen dimmed so much on my iPhone as it got hot. And what happens is, I really tax that iPhone. I'm doing a screen recording while I'm using the app, and of course we're standing here in the sun, and that direct sunlight really heats that phone up. There's a product I know that you can stick to the back of the phone that helps keep it cool. What I did there in the meantime to cool it off, when I brought it back and landed it, I had a bottle of cold water, so I shut the phone off and put it next to that cold water, and that got us some bright screen again for a little while to finish the flight. But I guess that's why the DJI Smart Controller is such a cool deal. You avoid that situation. But as far as the drone, man, it performed great. I want to look at the video and check out the horizon. Like I said, I couldn't see well enough on the FPV screen to say definitively right now, but hopefully it's okay. It looked okay, so we'll see how that is when we get the video out. So I'm anxious to look at the video. I'm anxious to look at those pictures we took, and I hope you enjoyed this. Just a quick flight out over the canyon. Just a fun, nice, clear day to do it, and so it was enjoyable. So I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And we absolutely will see you on the next one. All right, bye now. Fimi X8 SE 2020. You know, it was a 4-month wait. But like I always say, as soon as you get the drone in your hand, you realize, yeah, it was worth the wait. All right, see ya.